Hello everyone, we are back with Game 2 from this best-of-3 match between Eternal Rally and Ragnarok. Last time around, Eternal Rally did take the game in a rather convincing victory over Ragnarok. We'll see if Ragnarok can pull this one back around, or if Eternal Rally is going to take this one in a 2-0 sweep. I'm Zayden, here with my co-caster once again, Verbalocity. Verb, how you doing so far today?
Doing very well today. Yes, we saw the first one go to Eternal Rally in a... I wouldn't say super dominant, but it was a fairly strong showing there in that first round. We saw the good use of the early control of the jungle coming out there, so nice use of that. Let's see if they can continue with this trend, but unfortunately, being Client Team weren't able to show the picks or the bans, so luckily we could see bans in top left, top right, so we can actually discuss them a little bit before we actually head into this. So, looks like Ragnarok opted to get rid of Apollo, Janus, and Serket, and wanted to get them off the table, which is probably for the best considering the amount of global presence that that particular set of characters possesses. But also, we see Eternal Rally opt to get rid of Zhonghui, Ram, and Sylvanas. So that is 3 characters from last game off the table, which is probably for the best considering that all 3 of those were very effective last game, Joden. Although Odin, he's not even been picked. He actually hasn't been picked up this time.
I'm imagining we didn't get to see the picks and bans last time. Odin probably was a counter pick, just given the amount of healing coming out of the Sylvanas and Ra potentially. So they picked that up later, and that just is not a lot of healing in this match, so they decided they didn't need it. So, went with some other options. That said, I'm very happy about some of the picks in this game. There is a Jungle Emir, which is pretty nice, pretty cool. You're going to be playing him this time around for Eternal Rally. And also a Jungle Poseidon for Ragnarok.
Ooh, Jungle Poseidon. Now that has some interesting implications, but if you want, we can actually... Wait, support Fenrir, okay. Never mind, let's get this game underway here. Let's get the replay going. We can actually formally introduce the teams, because my head's starting to hurt slightly from the mix. So, we will have Ragnarok coming up from the south in the blue trucks, defending the Titan of Order. We have Madragado on the Jungle Poseidon. We have Arcade on the support Fenrir, followed up with Single on the solo lane Hercules. Then we were X'd on the duo lane Cupid, and finally we have Kratabola on the mid lane Noir. And Joden, who is on the Eternal Rally?
Eternal Rally with the Suzuki playing support Geb, Schultzen on the mid lane Agni, Ure is the Jungle Emir, Stalker as the solo lane Vulcan, and finally Arkanjo as the AD carry Hunter on her. It looks like Ragnarok looking for some crazy early game invade shenanigans here, Verb.
Yeah, Ragnarok actually pulling out a good few bits of shenanigans here, not only with builds, but also looking for the opening gambit here. Looks like Schultzen doesn't actually see this. He needs to rotate over and give his team a hand. X takes a huge amount of damage there from the turret and is out of position to a huge extent. In comes Glacier Strike, is not going to hit the heavy shot from the Vulcan passive not connect. In comes, yeah, that's going to be a dead baby. Gets impaled to the wall. Yurei picking up the first blood there. It looks like EX may have just slightly overextended, and then, one thing leads to another, and now there's a dead baby on the field.
Yeah, a little unfortunate. We'll see. It looks like they're going over the dual lane. I saw X heading over to that right lane, and it was like, are they lane swapping here? Is that what they're doing? They end up doing that weird rotation jungle thing. But the builds and compositions coming out from Ragnarok this game are just all over the place. Fenrir support hasn't been seen in forever. Cupid is hardly ever seen, period. And Jungle Poseidon, while it's a thing, you'd never really see it. So, just strange picks and bans, or picks rather. And then on Hercules, he went Heavy Hammer. Which, after the price increase, again, something you really just never see anymore. And it's up against the Vulcans. He's gonna have to walk through Vulcan potentially to get past the turret. He's gonna take a bunch of damage doing that, but he could rely on that Earthbreaker Driving Strike combo to finish Stalker out.
Speaking of which, over in the the solo lane, we're going to be seeing Single does take a good bit of damage, but of course he is naturally Hercules. He's going to be able to sponge most of that. We're going to be seeing a little bit of aggression here over Yuri, taking a lot of damage. He needs to be careful. He's on Jungle Mir, so if he didn't go with the magical pot stop, so he wants to keep himself relatively secure-ish in terms of their play. But at the same time, he doesn't have that huge damage coming out early on from traditional jungle Miz that will cause you to be scared of him. So with things like the early poke coming out of Poseidon, also the Hercules if he gets caught into gets Earthbreakered into a Whirlpool, you're going to have a very bad time no matter which god you are. But flipping over to the mid lane here, speaking of jungle Poseidon, might look for a gank here on Schultz and Joden.
Around that corner, into your Whirlpool. There's a stun combo coming from Nuwa, though. Whirlpool's gonna slow him down. You can't path that one. And that's gonna be second blood of the game. Going to Mandragadu. Nice little gank there. Agni, I don't think expected that Whirlpool behind him right there.
Yeah, and the dash actually does get cancelled by the Whirlpool because it is a cripple technically, so with that, that will be the second blood of the game actually going out there. Ragnarok picking up their first kill. But over in the solo lane, though, Single and Stalker are going to be having a little bit of a fun over in the jungle. Turret will come out, gets going to force Single to just take that out. Stalker is very low on mana. He has to wait for the blue buff to start regenerating him up. He is in possession of the Vampiric Shroud, so he has MP5. They're coming in for the gank. Does not find the freeze. Single gets hit with the backfire plus Magma Bomb. And he's just going to be able to go back into turret. But over in the duo lane, there's more aggression coming out onto her here.
Yeah, Mandragadu's there. Kraken is out. Does not find the knockup. They find some damage, though. Cataclysm going to find 3. As now Archanjo is low. He's going to be impelled out of the fight, able to leap to safety. And it looks like, oh, actually, Heart Bomb protecting Suzuki for the stun. But given that's... Fenrir was forced to back out of that one. They have backed off. That said, mid lane, Kratabola getting caught out by the gank by Uri, forced over to Schultzen, who got the pickup with the Rainfire over the wall.
Right tower is under attack.
Yes, and with that, that is going to be the next kill for Eternal Rally, and a pretty vital kill in that they managed to get rid of Kratabola out of the mid lane just as the mid camps came up. So that is going to be pretty much guaranteed mid camps there. And on top of that, we're also going to be seeing the mid lane get pushed fairly heavily. She will most likely lose those at least the melee minion, if not the archer minions too. But Poseidon will be able to come in to give him assist. Poseidon isn't a traditional jungle, but he's a fairly competent mid laner, so he has that tradition to clear the minions before they lose too much gold to the tower. And with that, we're going to be seeing everyone just going back into the jungle doing their thing, but... discussing, and more actually going on over in the...
Will miss, just get him to clear some minions out. Driving strike on official his last couple. I think he's just looking to go back to the base right now. Use his ultimate, get it on cooldown, no point saving it if you're heading back anyway. And yeah, he's gonna head back to base, buy up some shiny new goodies like a Emerald Talisman, give himself some nice resistances against the Vulcan, as well as some nice healing over time with the passive effect on that one. But,
yeah, I actually wanted to bring that up, the topic of singles into how he's doing in the solo lane. I honestly believe he should have gone for that Emerald Talisman, which he's just bought, a little earlier. Because he's doing okay with the heavy hammer, but he's not staying in the pocket with Stalker long enough. But over in the dual lane, there's a Fury coming out. The Calico's gonna get popped as well. In comes the Kraken from Drago. He's coming in for the gank. Can he find it? Yes, he will. On top of Archanjo, that's gonna be forcing it back X. He's gonna get picked up by Suki. And now, can Madragado find the kill on Suzuki? He does have Trident active, trying to juke away, but it's hard to juke away from 3 auto attacks at once. In comes the Agni and the Ymir ganks coming out here. Madrago is going to get picked up there by Schultzen. The minions were fully present, so that is going to give him a little boost in damage. But now Nuwa comes over for the assistance. Kratabola is present. He's going to be able to help out Fenrir over in the dual lane, but looks like now in the solo lane, even more fighting going on here, Joden.
Yeah, Stalker getting forced out. Run away there from the Hercules. Was able to get that safe, but gonna get forced back to base out of mana. Those next wave of minions gonna get pushed to the tower. Dual lane once again though. Kratabola finding the kill onto Schultzen. He didn't want to be over there in the end of the day. Kratabola now running for his life away from Ymir. Ymir's looking for the kill. Ymir hungry, but Frostwall not gonna be effective. Oh, the shard's gonna miss as well as the stun combo coming. Fenrir here to support, but Suzuki picking the kill on Kratabola as now Uri Stone Shield not gonna be saving him. He's gonna get picked up there by Mandragado, and looks like that'll be overall a 1-for-1 trade over that left side jungle.
Yeah, and with that, that is a nice pickup there. It keeps both teams in contention in terms of what happens, although technically Eternal Rally is in the lead right now. They do have the 2.2k XP difference and a 1.3k gold. And right now, a good thing to discuss is the duo lane for Ragnarok. We have Arcade and we have X on the Fenrir and the Cupid respectively. Now, if they got to level 5 a little sooner, we could have had some shenanigans coming on here. We could have had Ragnarok into the Fields of Love. You can't escape unless you beat it. And you would have probably already beat the Ragnarok in the first place. So, I honestly think now that they are at level 5, Eternal Rally's gonna have a lot of food for thought in their duo lane, particularly with the get.
Forced open those fire shards. Verb was nice gank initiated by Yuri. He's looking for more here. Stun combo from Nuwa. Gonna find two as now he's running for his life. Fire shards was down, knocking out of that one. As in the backline, Stalker looking for more potentially as the driving strike from Mir is going to push him back. Kraken's going to come up in the middle of that lane. Find two. Yuri going to be taking Earthbreaker to the face as well. Vandragadu going to pick that one up. Ragnarok in the back. Looks like Fenrir found some dinner as he's going to throw Vulcan back in the middle of this. They're still looking for more here, Verb.
Yep, Stalker is going to be forced to retreat here, even though he has the Doge himself. Fenrir slapping over him with the brutalized. In comes Madragado, uses the speed boost off of the Changing Tides passive is going to help Shingle pick up the kill there on Stalker, but the Desert Fury through the wall will pick up Madragado, and this is turning into a 2-on-3 in favor of Ragnarok. Fields of Love coming down, combined with Arcades and Brutalize will pick up Schultzen, and now Arkanjo is going to be forced to retreat here. Single doesn't have enough range on the Earthbreaker unless Arkanjo stays for long enough. And if he does get pulled, he has already used Disperse, so he's gonna have to be very careful here. But at the same time, if Single gets cocky, like I mean, he is Hercules, he has enough regen, but like here, for instance, he's pinned up against the wall, passive on her is kicking in, he needs to stay wary, a couple auto attacks, and he will die, because Mitigate Wounds is only level 2. So it only returns 45%. Excavate coming in, bear in mind, jumps over the Excavate and picks up Single with the Impale. Nice play there by Arkanjo, but Yuri trying to go after Madrago and cover over the right side here, Shonen.
That was a ton of damage coming out of that Shards of Ice. 2/3 of Madragado's health just burst out instantly. Can't let him here charges up. Gonna use that blink. Nice little juking to get that off the in-combat timer. Able to pop away off of that one. So good steal on those back harpies. Good pick on that kill as well. Curious to see if he looks for more here. Shockwave from Gev. Midlane credible. Locked down by the Agni stun. They're looking to dive this now, Verb.
Yeah, in comes Zuki trying to take out Credible with the help of Solzen. Avoids the Flame Wave. Down comes the Fire Shards. In response, Vulcan is present, though Stalker might look for the ultimate. Arcade's going to pick up Zuki over in the back lines. Under tower, that is going to be forcing back Agni and Vulcan. They do have minions supporting. Going to be able to ward them out. In comes the Fenrir. Brutalize does come out. The Path of Flame is going to be allowing him to get some damage and stun him out with Noxious Fumes. Arcade very low here. Final Agni Bomb. Rain of Fire will pick him up, but now the reinforcements have arrived in the form of Single and Ext. In comes the... No, that wasn't actually hitting him for 2 big damage. In comes the Fields of Love. Cupid's going to stun out Stalker because he was full passive. Stalker picks up Ext with the help of the Cupid. In comes the Kraken, though, from Madragado from the back line. He's going to kill off Stalker. And now Yuri is going to be forced to probably retreat here, considering that there's also now a new war rotating over here. Driving strike into the wall. There's the Clay Minions start coming out, plus the Shiny Medal will pick up Yuri. As the mid camps come up once again, it appears both of these teams have rather good timing when it comes to these big camps. Or that, or it's extremely coincidental.
Yeah, it's actually Disperse comes from Arkanjo not coming for that. Impaled into the wall. That's a little bit of trouble there. Desert Fury onto Madragado now. He is going to Aegis out some of that damage, but on the end of this, 1 or 2 more attacks will find that kill. One more to the back. That's a dead Poseidon. Can't do much about those spears. Worked just as well as a Harpoon, evidently, as he'd end up getting killed there. Meanwhile, Suzuki, running for his life, is going to blink across the wall, but he runs into an arcade on the back, and use a Shockwave and force that dispersal there, a retreat. Disengagement. That's the word I'm looking for. Words today just not wanting to work. It's so early, not meant to be up this hour. It's not noon yet.
Time zones are hard. But yes, either way, looking at the build here, as we're going to be seeing a little bit of argy-bargy over it. The mid Harpies gets taken by Arkanjo with the Impale. Nice move there, and actually managed to make Arcade burn his Hand of the Gods there, trying to actually pick those up, but in vain. But going to the builds. Now we can see the Stone of Gaia online for Single, so he's going to have a nice amount of sustain against Vulcan. And also a huge amount of protections, but... look at what the Stalker is building. He's building the Soul Trap. So if he wants to, look at the amount of health being built here by Ragnarok. He could go Soul Reaver, but it's most likely going to be booked with Thoth. Arcade getting smacked around a bit over at the left side by Yuri. In comes Poseidon for the assist using the Whirlpool. Is going to stave off Yuri for now. Although, Noir is rotating over, so we might see a gank here, Joden.
definitely a possibility. They could look forward. It would be a 4-on-3 in the next few moments as Agni is on his way. Also, Madrigado potentially caught out here in the middle of Path of Flames. You don't want to be there. Not going to find the stun from the Incendiary Cloud, but back in the fight, that's going to be a dead Arcade. He tried to rotate over to help Madrigado, got caught out. Fields of Love down in that dueling lane as well. Desert Fury coming out onto the little baby. He is in trouble. Can't stun him out with that bomb with the Desert Fury CC immunity. One more attack from Arcanjo will pick it up. That's going to be yet again another dead baby to that lion. Apparently baby's the other white meat today.
Yep, indeed. But speaking of which, we're going to be seeing a potential gold meat on the plate here, as Gold Fury is going to be under contention here by Eternal Rally. They are in the lead in golden XP still, but looks like Meanwhile going up into the air with the fire shards, fighting in the solo lane as well between the Vulcan and the Hercules fire. Shards of Ice is going to pick up Madrago just after he pops the Kraken there. In comes the Cataclysm, going to stun out Kratos, but the Clay minion stun off the Shining Metal is going to pick up Zuki, but Shelton comes in for the revenge kill onto Kratos. And with that, that is going to be a Gold Fury grad for Eternal Rally. Solo lane's being pushed in heavily because Hercules was forced to retreat. That is going to be overall a very, very nice set of pickups there for Eternal Rally.
Yep. Games are pretty close, all said and done here. Eternal Rally now just the first time having a real gold lead. 4,700 gold in the lead, 7,200 experience.
Your right tower is
They also, in that right lane, Vulcan managed to steal away the mana buff from Hercules. That's going to be a little rough going forward. Hercules is pretty mana intensive, and could be a little rough going forward. He has the likes of mitigate wounds, keep him healthy, driving strike does some nice damage, but if you have no mana, you're not going to be using any of that stuff at any point in time. So it's going to be a little rough for him going forward for the next bit. I think fortunately he does have that Stone of Gaia that's going to be about a 55% magic damage reduction as well as a nice reduction. So he's not too terrible off over there.
So at least the mid camps are going to be coming up soon. Many of the jungle camps are down, except for the red buff, which is being taken here by Madrigado and Kratos over in the door lane. Little bit of offensive coming out here by Single. Will miss the Earthbreaker. That gets juked by Stalker. He's going to receive a backfire for his troubles here. But because of that Stone of Gaia, it's really hard for Stalker to fight until he gets some pen online here. And we're going to be seeing now the mid-harpies are under contention. The left one and the right one as well, I believe, were taken by Eternal Rally. And unfortunately, Ragnarok was not able to repost in any way, but looks like we might be seeing a potential... I did actually get it right. Okay, apologies, I was watching the solo lane. And we are going to be seeing, though, potential gank here by Madrigado, although Geb is rotating over offensively, looking for... Nope, yeah. And the cripple, that's actually a good point to bring up. Although it looks like Single might be in the bad position here, Joe.
Yeah, Earthship coming, not going to connect. Drive Strike got him out of that one. As their Excavate finds the backswing on Stalker. Not enough damage. Shards of Ice and an auto attack from Suzuki to pick that one up. Arcade looking to get the Stalker in the back of the pit. He's alive still. Will he find it? Brutalized. Not going to be needed as Madrigado does pick that one up with the Kraken. Ragnarok is out, but Rain Fire coming down. That's going to be a dead puppy. And they could potentially look for a final kill on Madrigado as he's running for his life right now. Blink coming out from two members. There's a Shockwave. There's a Frost Breath. There's some glacial spikes or something. Icy
Glacial
spikes.
Strike. There you go.
Strike. I was close. Spike strike.
Cold shoulder. Something.
Spiny frozen water came up from the ground and killed him. He died. That was the important bit. And we got it dispersed. Left lane looking for some aggression onto X. Not going to find the Impale into anything useful, unfortunately, so X is just going to be able to play it safe under his tower for the time being. Look clear up these minions, but in the meanwhile, Arcanjo is going to find a couple more hits with that tower. It's getting to around 2/3 health right now.
Oh, look at the damage coming out of here by Onher right now. Right now, Arcanjo, let's actually have a look at the graph here. Damage done is going to be sat... Arcanjo is second to last on his team in terms of damage, but that is because he is dealing with people like Noir and Vulcan, who in their own mind have just so much damage towards this early mid-game section. It takes a little while for these hunters to get online, even as someone like Onher, who is vastly over-leveled over his opponent. And because of his passive, he has that passive pen. But right now, Arcanjo needs to be careful here, because if he stays for too long, this potential gank by Arcade and Madrigado is going to hurt a lot. Arcade might look for the Unchained Stun. He has got full runes. It will not find it. He's actually going to get blasted away there by an Impale. In comes the Cavalry. That is the rest of Eternal Rally. They all have rotated, but Single is still on the other side of the map here. Even with his tower still down, he needs to rotate and give his team a hand. All of Eternal Rally is here. The freeze comes out. Credible gets forced to pop the beat. In comes the Cataclysm, I imagine, and the Ocean coming at the same time. In comes the Platform Flame Shelton picking up the kill on Kratos there. In comes the Rain of Fire, does a good bit of damage there. X going to be forced to retreat. He needs to be careful here. He doesn't have that much health to work with at this level. In comes Brutalize, he's going to hit him. There comes the Kraken coming out on top of 3 members of Eternal Rally. Freeze coming out. Suki's going to pick up the kill on Arcade. And now Madrigato and Shilton going to be dueling away. Good Aegis there. He's going to avoid most of the damage coming out of that combination. Shilton pops the bees. Can he escape? An inch of health. Excavate says no. Poseidon says no. Excavate there does a little bit of damage to Gebbers. He's forced to run away. Stalker will pick up X though with the backfire. Oh my, combat in the left lane is huge right now, but that will be a 3-for-1 trade in favor of Eternal Rally, and they also pick up that left side bit of Harpy Joden.
Helps, and now actually seeing a Stalker over on the left side just stole away that mana buff as well. That's gonna hurt
Mid lane?
X even more. Mid lane fight breaking out potentially as Desert Fury is coming out onto Poseidon. Madrigato able to dodge around enough, not taking a lot of damage from that one, but the meatball to the face onto Single. He's actually looking for a kill here potentially, trying to get away, going around the long way. He could end up in his death if he looks to pursue this, but with the reinforcements on the way, looks like Eternal Rally just gonna back off, take their earlier victory in stride, and not get too over aggressive.
Yeah, right now, Ragnarok are starting to lose that tower position and the jungle position as well, because they keep losing these fights by not necessarily small margins, but not massive margins either, just enough as to where Eternal Rally have a little bit of room to maneuver in terms of split pushing. They do have people like On Her and Yuar, and to an extent Vulcan, who have fairly high auto attack damage. So when they damage towers, they really damage towers.
Yeah.
And what looks like, though, very interesting style coming out of Madraga here. Over in the mid lane, though, a gank coming out by Shelton onto Krita. Bolo will pick him up there. But if you can actually get a second to do some analysis here, please. I will say, though, props to both of these teams. They're both very aggressive, Joden.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of action coming out this time around. It's a little bit of a closer game all said and done as well. It's 24-14 in favor of Eternal Rally. But Ragnarok's putting up a bit of a better fight overall. They gotta be careful right now, though. Eternal Rally looking to rotate around, pick up that gold Fury. That's gonna give them even more of a gold lead. I'll be curious if they look to contest this one, if they're just gonna let this one go away. Free. We do see X heading over. Fields of Love is online if they want to go for it. There's Arcade going in with the Ragnarok coming out. You can't Wrath of the Gods in Ragnarok, unfortunately. He's just going to delay the inevitable. Cataclysm comes out. Going to get that crowd control music.
Oh.
There's a Fury coming from a counter. Going to pick up the kill into him as well. X never running for his life. Did pop that sprint, trying to get away, popping some damage back. There's a Driving Strike onto Archangel. They're looking for a return kill here. Earthbreaker will connect. He's knocked back. Gift Shield is now down. Stalker in that backline, though, getting Magigarda. But Arcanjo body blocking from Suzuki right now, keeping him alive. Looking to disperse over that wall. Gonna get out safely. Oh, no. Blink. Is that Blink of Hercules? Yes, it was.
That was
Over
a
the wall. No combat. He's gonna get over. Earthbreaker to the back, picking up on her. Now X in trouble once again. The Glacial Strike gonna do some damage. The final mace to the face is gonna pick up Yurei. Now Credibola under the tower, taking damage from the Rainfire from Agni. Is low, and Yurei's gonna find the double. Now Single caught out in the back between 4-man Driving Strike. Gonna do some work. Trying to get out of this alive, but it looks like he's going aggressive. Earthbreaker onto Stalker now as well. Excavate coming out. Gonna just narrowly clip Stalker for some damage. Tower shot to Stalker. Oh, actually, Ragnarok. Arcade coming in the back. Ragnarok not gonna find it. Single's still going crazy. Mitigate wounds. Doing tons of healing in this fight. Ooh.
But Arcade, though, trying to look for Stalker with the Brutalize. In comes the Bulwark of Hope. Will still do a good amount of damage there, but Arcade is probably going to die here from the Shard's face. Yes, he will. He goes down, but Suki getting caught inside the Whirlpool. Madrigato will pick him up with the help of Single. Single with the Frostbound Hammer, combined with the Whirlpool, is just an insane amount of slows. Now the Mitigate Wounds is really churning. Madrigato here gets frozen. The wall comes up, delaying him from being able to reach his teammate. With the help of the Agni from over the wall in the jungle, will pick him up there. Now,
Single just will not die.
Looking at the builds here and the actives, I see a Meditation Hercules. It appears Smite Latin America is being coached by DM Brandon. But in all honesty, I mean, I can understand somewhat why you go Hercules in the laning phase. That sustain coming out is huge. You could stay in lane and overpower your opponent just from raw having sustain. But getting into these later fights, if Single, say, had an Aegis or a Deities or a Curse, it is much better for the fights because you can't sell actives. You're stuck with it once you buy it. So, while the meditation is nice for the early game, as we're getting into the late game now, it's going to start to backfire on him slightly unless he decides to go for, say, I mean, Meditation 3, it's got nice healing on it, but it's not, it's better versus something else. But looks like on the duo lane here.
Feels looking like Archangel looking for some damage. Desert Fury did a lot. Arcade going to be forced to retreat on this one. Nuwa rotating around us as a bunch of members of Eternal Rally right now. Ragnarok has to be careful. Meatball is going to connect on the X. The backfire just narrowly going to miss, but the Earthshaker coming down also a little too far back. Not going to find that kill. Eternal Rally gonna take that mana buff. It's a bit of consolation prize, but Gamir says, no, I want blood. Blink in front of shards of ice. Once again, a leap out by Arcade. Gonna get him out safely. Ure in the back of this fight. Low. Excavate coming through the middle of this, finding a bunch of damage. Mandrakadu now gonna H-send some damage, but a meatball from Stark are gonna be picking that one up, as now they could potentially look to dive this tower. Or just, there it is, the blink coming out from Cataclysm as well. They're looking to continue this one out. Arcanjo gonna be looking for some blood here. Finds Cratabola. They are looping around the side though. Schultzen finding X in the back line. Arcade could look for something here quickly, but he's gonna choose to leap out safely. Meanwhile, in the middle of the single is just like in the middle of 4 people again. Full health, not taking much damage between mitigate wounds and the like. And being Hercules.
It really hurts.
Hercules. End of that story. But I love the team fight from Eternal Rally right now. No singles. Once more, he says, blinks it in for the Geb kill, but the Stone Shield will prevent that. Stalker picks up Single there with the help of his teammates. Arcanjo picks up Arcade for the Deer side. Ragnarok getting greedy there. I'm really not sure why they did that. Eternal Rally are making all the right moves with the really nice flanks coming around the tower, but Ragnarok just seem to be handing it on a plate. They are just going in 1s and 2s against a fully formed 5-stack. And let's be honest, at this stage in the game, towers don't present too much of a threat in the first couple of shots. And these fights are over in the first couple of shots if you're under half health 2v5. And honestly, if Ragnarok want to see any hope in start win this, they need to square up, try and get a good team fight going, and if possible, just get farm, because they are extremely under-farmed. A level 16 support versus level 13 support, need we say more?
Yeah, the Hunter's also quite a bit off, 20 to 14. That's pretty significant, especially given that Anhur has the built-in physical protection shred. He has the Executioner online. Armor is not going to be doing much to stop his damage anymore. And the Desert Fury as well, coming out to proc out those reductions. You're talking just immense amounts of just burst damage, crowd control immunity. They need to lock him down. The biggest problem Ragnarok has right now, we were touching briefly on the fact that they were kind of spread out and all over the place. I see 2 things of note. One bad, one good. Sovereignty is not yet online for Arcade. That aura helps massively in team fights, which reduces damage for everyone by like 10-15%. Hercules, though, did just pick up the Mystical Mail. Right now, he really didn't have much in the way of damage. He was just kind of applying the occasional slows with that heavy hammer and providing some disruption with the Earthbreaker and Driving Strike. With that Mystical Mail, though, while he's running around in the middle of all that stuff, he's going to be doing damage. Out comes the Ragnarok.
Arcanjo going to be forced to try and disperse over the wall. Can he find it? Nope. Gets hit with the Ragnarok bite, but beats it out of it last second. Meanwhile, over in the middle here, we're going to be seeing the Cataclysm coming out after the Fields of Love. Up goes Nuwa. Schultzen picks up Catapult before the fire shots come down. Single pops the Excavate, but doesn't really do too much damage. His Stalker will pick up X as Madragado picks up Arcanjo for revenge. This turns it into a 4-on-3. Make that 4-on-2 as Madragado gets picked up by Ure. The Surrender Vote comes out. Single on Arcade need to retreat here. They can't get cocky. Arcade is trying to lazy back here, looking for Schultzen potentially. In comes the Brutalize. Bulwark going to be deployed instead, but Schultzen will pick him up nonetheless. And now Single in a bit of a deja vu here, all alone behind the enemy front line, trying to get away here. But this is his time to shine. If he plays Distract the Birdie,
he's buying time. That
might be able to save enough time. Yeah.
Respawns are coming
up.
It
has just come up.
Yeah.
So go on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, respawns just came up. They could potentially look to defend one of these Phoenix here. That little bit of... was kind of close anyway. Hercules only delayed by 4 or 5 seconds. I don't know if they would have had time necessarily to take a Phoenix in that amount, because Anhur was down. He would have been like the majority of their like physical destroy objectives damage. But he bought some time. They're up. They're able to defend. Only a little damage going on in mid Phoenix right now. So overall, a nice little save there by Hercules.
Yeah, right now, Single doing a little bit of harass, but he needs to be careful. He's Hercules, he doesn't have God mode on, as much as some people on the Reddit would like to complain. Hercules is a very interesting beast in that if he's careful, he can pretty much not die. But at the same time, if you go out on your own thinking you're invulnerable, you're going to get bursted down so quickly you don't even realize it. But it looks like Stalker here gets hit with the Brutalize, but it's support Fenris, so it doesn't do that much damage. Up goes Nua with the Fire Shard stun coming out there from the Heart Bomb from Cupid. In comes the Aegis, in comes the X-Fate, the Field of Love. Stalker very low, gonna get picked up by the Fields of Love. Yori picks up Arcade though. Kraken coming on the top of Yori. Schultzen picks up Madrigado with the Rain of Fire. Yori gets a play with a Stone Shield by the Gep. Arcano picks up Crater Bola, and now Shingle getting hit a couple times by Suzuki, brings in the Cataclysm, and Arcando with the Desert Fury will pick him up for the double kill. Beautiful play there by Eternal Rally, not Ethereal Rally. Eternal Rally being able to contest with this Fire Giant and winning with almost a deicide. It would have been a deicide if X didn't not just escape there last second.com. But yeah, that's going to be a Fire Giant. Unfortunately, that will only be on 4 people. Stalker is currently dead, so he doesn't receive that. But either way, Eternal Rally are officially in the driving seat in a mega... I wouldn't say even the driving seat. They have been in the driving seat for a long time now. But now Ragnarok, this may be the beginning of the end, unless they pull out a Miracle Shonen.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough comeback. One of the things I'm noticing in these team fights, though, Arcade is going in looking for the Ragnarok onto somebody. The problem is everyone has some sort of way to avoid the Cataclysm, or not Cataclysm, the Ragnarok. Cataclysm on Geb provides crowd control immunity. Shards of Ice coming out of Ymir does. Everyone else has beads or Aegis that can be used when hit by it. And every single time he goes in, he grabs someone, they immediately drop down out of it, and he's then finding himself in the middle of a bunch of people and getting burst down himself.
Yeah, he is support and area, but at the same time, he doesn't have enough damage to really be threatening, so he just can get wailed on all day. You're going to be seeing the Suzuki and the rest of Eternal Rally going after Ragnarok. Stalker will pick up Credibola in the jungle. In comes the Kraken here, but the Gepshu coming out and Stalker to prevent the damage. Fields of is zoning out there one side of the jungle. In comes Yore, going to try and find the freeze. Will find it. In comes the Rain of Fire. Madrigado very low here with the damage mitigation coming off the Aegis Pendant. It will not be enough. Schulten's going to pick up the kill there. And now Ragnarok are just being divided and conquered here. X gets frozen here by Yore in the backline. Sprint being popped, but it's going to wear off just in time. In comes the Shards of Ice. Not going to find Single, though. Teleports behind. Is going to not find the driving strike. Pillar comes up. There's the wall. So many physical obstructions that Eternal Rally can summon right now is really hampering how Ragnarok can move here. And now Eternal Rally are grouping up here. Single's most likely to die, and this is going to be a Phoenix here, shown.
Yeah, at the very least. They do have Fire Giant belt on 4 members of Eternal Rally right now. It is still X Arcade, and now Credibola back alive to defend the Titan, or have some more of these Phoenixes, but they have to be so careful right now. Eternal Rally, he's mentioned those physical obstructions. Once again, that wall coming up, denying any defense opportunities for that right Phoenix. That's going to be a second one, and it looks like they're going to rotate straight over and look for a third.
Yeah. And if they get all 3 of these down, they're going to have huge advantages in terms of the armor, as in there'll be no armor of the Titan. Suzuki gets picked up there by Arcade. I don't see why Ragnarok are going in one at a time here. They might be on tilt from, let's be honest here, 29 minutes into the game, 47 to 19 in terms of kills, 37,000 XP and 21,000 gold in favor of Eternal Rally. I wouldn't blame Ragnarok for being on tilt here, Shogun. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, definitely not. Release the Kraken helmet and Link for Archanjo. He's going to crowd control immunity out of the knockup. Get out of that one safely. Like, yeah, they gotta watch it. It's... Take a look at the golden experience. 21,000 gold lead, 36,000 experience lead. That's pretty significant. I believe the highest gold difference comeback in an SPL or a Smite World Championship qualifier or wildcard match to date is 18,000 somewhat gold. So, it's going to be a very, very huge comeback if they manage to do it. They potentially have They potentially have the potential, we'll go with that, to burst someone if they catch someone out. They could get a Vulcan, on her, Schultzen. Both very squishy if they can lock them down for long enough to do the damage they need to do. The problem is, between the beads and the ages and the good crowd control and zoning coming out of Suzuki and Yurei, they're having issue actually locking those guys down properly.
Yeah, and right now, even with the items starting to come out now, things like the winged blade being built here on Madrigado, increasing the attack speed, allowing him to try and get a bit quicker here. The lockdown still isn't going to keep coming out, but Credibola has the ultimate form of lockdown applied to him, that being death. Is going to get picked up there by Suzuki.
Your Titan is under attack.
And Eternal Rally here are going to look for the GG. They have all three lanes pushed by fire minions. They may even need to try to offensively. They can just let the minions do the work for them. In comes the backfire into the fountain, fighting going here. Suzuki and Yora going over in single and arcade. In comes Sultan with the assist. Cracking over the wall here by Madrigado. Shards of Ice being popped as well, zoning them out. Arcade, huge damage coming out onto him. Stalker picks up the Cupid as Suzuki picks up Shingle, and this is most likely GG here as Madrigado gets hit with the Desert Fury under the fountain. Cataclysm getting popped as well. Eternal Rally here, not even going for the Titan, just going straight for them under fountain here. Stalker gets picked up by Arcade as Geb does get picked up in retaliation, but this is going to be GG here, Joden.
Yeah, they decided they couldn't actually kill the Poseidon under there. Taking a couple of good crits coming out of Arcanjo. I saw a 915 and 896, so Arcanjo doing a ton of damage with those criticals coming out of him with all that physical protection shred between his passive and that Executioner. All said and done, though, Eternal Rally gonna find the second victory, take this match in a 2-0 sweep. Ragnarok doing what they could to stay in this. Fortunately for them, they have already placed us and gotten a seat in the Arena of the Gods, a LAN tournament coming up in the beginning of December at the Sao Paulo Comic-Con. So, they, I believe they just lost out on some gems potentially from this, the remainder of this event. So nothing too terrible. They still have their hopes alive to get to Worlds. We'll see if they could learn something from these games, improve in the next coming weeks, and perhaps do a little bit better at LAN.
Yeah, right now in the game, we did see a fairly dominant performance coming out by Eternal Rally in both games. We saw very nice play there with the use of the map control, the mobility, and on top of that, we saw in terms of the damage numbers, let's look who actually did the most there. It is Vulcan. Stalker, I believe Stalker played Vulcan both times of those matches, and consistently did really good damage numbers coming out. It seems that the wacky, almost, it's sort of like faux cheese comp coming out of Ragnarok just didn't pay off in the end there, Joden. Eternal Rally had the traditional solid comp, solid lanes, and it just won out over a little bit more unorthodoxness. We saw things like the Hercules meditation in solo, Poseidon, Madrigado on the jungle Poseidon. He actually did okay there, but the Fenrir, the duo lane is the really weak point there for Ragnarok. Ironically, with the Fenrir and Cupid being in the lane there. 3 and 11 and 1 and 9 respectively. On top of that, you're also going to be seeing there was not that much fun over in the early laning phase. And just look at the items compared to the teams. Ragnarok doesn't even have their 5th items finished for their duo lane. Eternal Rally had a completely full set.
Yeah, 20,000 gold lead. That's like better part of 2 items right there. It's split between 4K player. That's a lot of gold to have over your opposing god. What I really wish is that we could have seen the picks and bans, how they came out on this. I'm curious about specifically that duo lane. If Fenrir was picked up early, or because between Geb and Onher, there is so much counter potential right there. The Geb, I believe the Stone Shield will strip the grab off the Ragnarok.
Yes, it cleanses CC. It does.
Okay. So right there, you have issues with that already. Then you add in the fact that Geb has a lot of crowd control with the Shockwave. Honor can just use his Desert Fury for the CC immunity and avoid the Ragnarok from Fenrir. And then it's like, oh, you couldn't get me because I was crowd control immune that entire time? Well, I'm now just going to impale you into a wall because you decided you're going to run right up into my face. So I'm curious the exact way these picks and bans came out, because I want to say that Dual Lane got counterpicked fairly hard, but it's an unorthodox pick, I don't know. Cupid's a little bit of a mystery. We don't see him a lot. I think he's pretty good. The problem is, I think that particular lane composition did not work out well in his favor.
It's an interesting beast because if played well and as a good counter pick, he could be hilariously good, especially against people like Apollo. He has the cripple to avoid things like the escape artistry, but against Onher, who does really well early, he shuts down Cupid pre-5, and that's the key thing. The pre-5 and post-5, who gets the ultimate quickly, that was, in that particular case, and in both cases, it was Eternal Rally. So either... Any way you slice it, just the early victory snowballed into success after success after success. Ragnarok did come battle back with a couple of really nice plays nonetheless, but Eternal Rally, either way, are going to be going through to the next round here, and Ragnarok, hopefully they can come back next time.
Yeah, good luck to them. Good luck to Eternal Rally going forward in this next match as well. I believe the next game between We Love Bacon and Phalanx, I believe, are the two teams, will be starting up here shortly. So we're going to go ahead and cut to a break once again. We'll keep you updated if it's going to be a bit of a wait or not. Either way, guys, thanks for watching, stick around, and enjoy the music.